This video is going to be a look at the Ravens running game, particularly in the second quarter against the Browns on Sunday. There was a 3-possession stretch, 5th, 6th, 7th possession, where we could have put up 3 touchdowns, regardless of what your perspective is on, we took our foot off the gas pedal in the second half, or the Browns defense adjusted and shut us down. During that 3-possession stretch, the Ravens were gashing them with the run. And then on the 7th possession, Lamar puts on a show. Lethal passing attack, 4 incredible throws on that possession that puts us up 21-3 at halftime. Over that stretch, and I think I said this in the reaction video, but I want to make sure I get this out there, the Ravens had 9 rushing attempts for 90 yards over that 3-possession stretch. And I think we only ran the ball once on that 7th possession. I think it was Gus for 16 yards. So that is clearly indicative of an offense that can run the ball, because we're facing a very good defense. We know the Browns are going to play at a high level, and when we see them again, they'll try to adjust. But with the way that Lamar's throwing the football and the weapons that we have out there, what do? It's kind of like you got to pick your poison. And Lamar's poise on Sunday, I thought, was brilliant. The run game had a hand in this win, if you ask me. Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, Melvin Gordon all played a role. The first run play we got to talk about is the touchdown run after the turnover. 10-yard touchdown run on QB counter. It's not a read. You can look at Ricard's block. Also, the level change play fake by Zay tells you that this was not ever intended to go to him. You get defenders moving in one direction, and then the run opposite, exploits that. Browns trying to match up. As we go through the season, there's going to be more plays where we give it to Zay like this and more plays where Lamar keeps it. And then I'm pretty sure there'll be stuff on the backside that's, slant or, a slant fade out, whatever you want to call it. But a brilliant call by Monken. He's clearly willing to use Lamar in the red zone. And we've been way better in the red zone in 2023 so far than we ever were in 2022. All right, the next one. Not only was there a Gus Edwards sighting in Cleveland on Sunday, but Justice Hill came back, and he runs hard, in case we forgot. This is the first play of the 5th drive, 1st and 10, and this is QB counter read. So the previous play was not a read. This one is. You got the right guard and right tackle pulling. I love that we gave this football, because I think we've got to give this football more on this play to force the defense to account for the running back. I've said this many times. I would like for this to be a late game play. Here we are running it in the second quarter. Twin slot A, by the way. Twin slot was a big formation for us. There's the slot and there's the twins. As Lamar reads it, he's got the pulling guard and pulling tackle, and Justice Hill is crossing his face, running a lateral path, a sweep path, if you will. Outside linebacker coming downhill. I did not think, that's not an outside linebacker, excuse me, that's a DB. I did not think the Browns tackled well in space on Sunday. Gang tackling, where they were tackling with leverage, they looked like, that really physically overwhelming team that we saw on film prior to Sunday. But out in space, there was multiple opportunities, I'd say about 5 or 6, where they did not tackle well out in space. Our guys were able to make them miss and generate extra yards. This is an 11-yard gain by Justice Hill where he falls down. Gus for 5. Now, this is the 5th drive that ends in the fumble, the exchange between Lamar. But this is Wham Trap. And we've run this play now, I think, 3 or 4 times this season. We've run it out of the same exact formation. Twin slot with the fullback, in this case, Ricard, to the boundary. So he's going to step down. He's going to trap the D tackle. Gus is supposed to go off his outside hip. And you can see everything is contested by the Browns. They're going to challenge you. Linderbaum gets up to this boundary side inside linebacker, really pushes him out quite easily. Ricard with a nice trap block. These guys keep playing football. They get off of blocks. 44 is there. It's only a 5-yard gain. At this point, you'd say, well, the run game isn't really lighting them up, coach. Here's a reverse view, or the end zone angle view, if you ask me, of this play. Ricard downhill here. The center is going to work up and go get the boundary side inside linebacker. 44 ends up being a free runner. You can see he's stepping way out of the field of the play and is able to adjust back over to tackle Gus for a 5-yard gain. Very easily could have been more with the way that Gus runs downhill. Now we get things rolling on the 6th drive. This is Gus for 4 yards. 1-back power play. Simpson is kicking out this guy here. Simpson actually ends up getting pancaked on the play. 4-yard gain, tough run. Forcing them to tackle Gus was a smart investment, if you ask me. Allowing him to get downhill on guys, show them that we have that physical mentality still that they knew we had in previous seasons, but had been inconsistent thus far through 3 weeks. I love that the very next play, we came back to him. I don't know about you, but seeing the same exact motion on the very next play, I thought was Todd Monken showing their defensive coordinator, hey, buddy, you better be ready to stop this. Now, in the second quarter, the Browns did do a better job of it. I also like that we're running Zay in the motion. You're not normally going to give the ball on a sweep when the running back is on the opposite side. There is an opportunity, if you ask me, to allow the tight end to try to reach this DN, number one, or number two, run QB power read with Lamar. Typically, the back will be on the opposite side, but I think there's something to be said about running it with the back on the wrong side. Maybe I'll try to do a video about that later, but one back power again. Simpson with a better kick-out block. Ricard and Moses caved in the right side on a 2nd and 6. We get 6 yards. End zone angle, same play. You'll see Zay come through, and these guys just cave in this side. Simpson with the kick-out, 6 yards. Good old school one-back power play out of the gun. A couple of plays later, I think after Mark Andrews' big catch, you get Justice Hill on this jet dive. So the jet is designed to stretch people horizontally, and it's Zay in motion up to the top. Certainly we could use Duve there. And then the dive goes opposite of it. So as Zay comes in motion, imagine we give this football, which we could, and basically what we're saying is we don't think this guy can tackle our athlete out in motion, which is true. And what it allows us to do is leave him. Go get people at the second level, hook them, reach them, whatever you want to call it. Just shield them and let Zay get out to the edge. We haven't given it yet on this jet, but the jet is coming. The dive opposite is a zone concept, if you ask me. And look at all the congestion. Basically, they've made a wondrous mess of this with our offensive line. Justice Hill cutting it back off that wall of blockers, I thought was a beautiful moment. And at this point in our Discord, a bunch of us that are old, or old school, if you will, are like, man, this is Ravens football because we're smashing them. But it's multiple concepts that we're doing it with. QB counter for the touchdown, QB counter read, the give to Hill, out the edge for 11 yards, Gus on 2 one-back power plays, down kick schemes, gap schemes, if you will. And then here we are with a jet zone concept. Very diverse run game. End zone angle, same play. Keep an eye on Likely here, stepping outside of this DN. The DN's not responding to the block at all. There's no block recognition at all. His eyes are totally in the backfield. He doesn't have a good option. You've got the jet to Zay. You've got the give to Justice Hill that we know he cuts back. Potentially, you could also get the keep to Lamar. This is basically inverse triple option is really what it is. And there's really no good choice for 54. Runs himself out of the play. He's got false keys there, so it's not easy, to be honest with you. All right, then we've got Gordon for the big run, 22 yards off the left side. I think it's a counter scheme. I'll let it run again. I don't know about you, but I thought he was going to get in here. One high safety look, and this time you've got Likely going in motion. It's 12 personnel. That's the part about this that is my favorite. Ricard is off the field. It's 12 personnel, and we're running the football. Counter scheme, you can see we're kicking out Garrett. I did not think he played well on kick-out schemes. To me, if you were just to watch some of these plays where we're successful in the run game, he's a guy that's just getting upfield. He's attacking and getting upfield with not much recognition of what's coming. Now, part of that, too, is Andrews touching him and then releasing, which in that instant could let Myles Garrett think that it's a pass play, but it's not. We're giving it on the delay to Gordon, kick out block by Zeitler, wrap by Moses. He gets up to 6. We actually blocked him on Sunday, made him deal with people in his face. 22 yards off the left edge. This is within that time frame that I'm talking about, where we go 9 carries for 90 yards against, what is a talented and tough and well-coached defense. But we put them on their heels. This is a 10-8 round. at this point in a combat sports comparison. This is a 10-8 round where we are physically beating them at the point of attack everywhere. Monken likes to attack to the boundary with the run or the pass. This is a boundary side run. Multiple run concepts have been run to Andrew's side with him executing this type of block. Now, he's been doing this in the Ravens offense for years. Pay attention to him here. He's making it look like he's going to do something to Garrett and then slipping him, giving Garrett some eye candy, something to deal with for a moment. And then he's got to deal with a second guy kicking him out. It's not a huge block. He doesn't get pancaked, but he's not affecting the play at all. Brilliant sequence of plays here. Now, this one's a touchdown run. When I say sequence of plays, I'm going to show the one run from the 7th drive and try to relate it to this one. This is bunch right A, one of Monken's favorite formations. What we have not done in the past in this for the Ravens offense under Greg Roman is, run the ball to this side where there's only one receiver away from our fullback or our tight end. We've done that some this year. If you recall, the first touchdown that Justice Hill had down in the end zone after J.K. Dobbins got hurt, that OBJ had a nice block on, was bunch left A, and Justice Hill crosses Lamar's face and scores on a weak side run. This is a same side QB follow. This is pure evil. He's got the fake to Gus, and then Gus is taught, coached, and told, veer back out to the outside. It's a follow. There's really nothing that can be done from a defender standpoint. You've got a lead blocker. Gus is being used as a lead blocker often. That's a big development, if you ask me. The expectation level is higher for him. Number one, that clearly says he's healthy because they're asking him to do more than just come in and run the football. You'll get a really great view of the same side run concept. What I alluded to earlier was a run where the running back crosses face. Same side runs, downhill stuff like this, makes it look like a same side run, then follows him. Just look at the numbers at the point of attack. The numbers are not good for the Browns. We're just basically sealing everybody down, 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 creating an edge and space for Lamar to read. Not really much they can do about it there. Now, next play, last one I'm going to show. This is all run concepts. Look at the formation. Bunch right A. Now, Zay's going to go in motion to, reduce the number of people over there. But Gus is on the same side as Ricard and two receivers, same exact formation. Got a little bit tighter split down here to the bottom. I think it's Aguilar. And it is actually a same side run here. The give to Gus this time. So we're kind of inverting the order. You would think that you'd give it to the running back. You'd give it to the running back. And then at some time of your choosing, you'd keep it as the quarterback. We did it the opposite because we trust Lamar down there in the end zone. We know he's got a nose for the end zone. And now on this first play of the 7th possession, we get 16 yards for Gus. It's actually the second play. The first play was a hold. This is a brilliant job of incorporating the run game. I'm not showing pass plays. I did that in the earlier video about Lamar. Everybody's trying to get content out as quick as possible for people to enjoy before the Monday Night Football game. Let me know if that's what you guys are looking for in terms of the timing for content. A lot of people just like to watch stuff on Tuesday, but after a big win, all Ravens content creators are going to be trying to push out as much content for you guys to enjoy. Support all of them. Last week was a difficult week. I've mentioned that twice already for a lot of Ravens content creators. Great block by Ricard. Pinning down here. Trying to pin down here with the receiver. We miss him. Didn't look like a great effort by Duve there to me. But by and large, the run game really lit up this Cleveland defense in that second quarter. And I thought it played a huge factor in setting up the rest of the 7th possession where Lamar tore him up with the pass game and really picked multiple guys to target on different plays. Shows, if you ask me, the balanced nature of what this offense could be. I don't know if in individual games the offense is as balanced as we would like it at times. We certainly didn't generate 178 rushing yards against the Browns like we did against the Bengals. But during this sequence, 5th, 6th, 7th possession, we looked like we could run for 200. Credit the Browns for adjusting and slowing down the run game in the second half, taking advantage of our conservative tendency, I would say, is also a factor. But they got 7 3-and-out, so they were able to get us off the field often and slow down the run game at times. But we know that this has got to be a part of the offense, an element of the offense that at times before week 4 wasn't there consistently. Seeing us light them up like this, I don't know about you, was a whole lot of fun to watch. Maybe it's the Cro-Magnon part of our brains as Ravens fans. We're so used to the run game being a big part of what we do offensively. In this case, we got a little bit of that, and then Lamar, really landed the knockout blow at the end of the second quarter to put us up 21-3 with the beautiful passes. Appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. Let me know what types of film studies you're looking for. The next one I'm going to try to do for Monday night or Tuesday morning is a look at some of the underrated DBs. Brandon Stevens, Geno Stone, Rock Ya-Sin, Ronald Darby, Arthur Millay, and how those guys played a big role in the second straight AFC North road win. Appreciate you guys' time.